Test, 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 test. Okay. Okay. I think it looks good. Okay. Hello. I'm streaming again. No particular reason. I was just bored, I felt like it. So recently, Arkham is, or I should say Fantasy Flight Games is prepping their spoiler cycle for the next campaign release of the Drought City. And I think pretty much everything has been spoiled. Obviously, this is not the entire card set, but I figured I'd try and do a little review of all the cards based on, I guess, my now much more experienced outlook on the game compared to my first video. And I just figured I'd stream it because why not? Yeah, thanks to Derby K for putting this together, all the visual spoilers. They've released like quite a lot of, or I should say, they spoiled quite a lot of cards. So we might be here a while, but I'll try my best to go at a reasonable pace. We'll say. And of course, I mean, I'm not gonna think too hard about these. Just kind of first impression, gut impression type of thing. All right, let's get started. Let's increase the screen size a little bit here. All right, to start, we have investigators. Well, I mean, they're going one class at a time, so it'll just be like Guardian and then all the Guardian cards, etc., etc. So, the Guardian that will be released is Marion Tavares. 2343. Drifter Entrepreneur, you have one fewer hand slots. As a reaction, after you play an event during your turn, draw one card. Then you may play a different event, limit once per round. Elder Sign Effect +1, search the top 3 cards of your deck for an event and draw it. Shuffle your deck. Okay. And then 8/6 health stats. Deck size 30. Trait, she can choose either Fortune, Gambit, or Improvised. And then whichever trait she picks, she can pick events 0 to 2, and then up to 5 other Survivor 0 cards, with the standard Guardian 0 to 5 and neutral 0 to 5. Okay. Off the bat, I do think that this, I mean, the reaction effect is pretty crazy. Like, draw a card and you get to draw and you get to play another event, which basically means, like, as long as you're playing one event a turn, you essentially have 4 actions a turn. Yeah, I mean, that seems strong. Four Fist is kind of like whatever. I feel like her stat distribution is not the best. But it's balanced by just having like a crazy effect, I think. I mean, I can't really think offhand like good synergies with Fortune, Gambit, or Improvise. Like, I don't really know the card set well enough still to make a judgment on that. But just the effect alone, I mean, you could just play, I feel like you could probably conceivably just play Guardian 0-5 even without this second trait, and I feel like this would still be drawn. Yeah, it's crazy. I'll definitely try her. Determined is her signature card. It's a skill. She gets 2 copies of it. Commits for wild Marion only. If this test is successful and is on an event, you may return Determined to your hand instead of discarding it. Okay, this is okay. It's not. It doesn't excite me, I would say, as a signature card. But I mean, conceivably, you can more or less always get this back. Well, I mean, you're bound to fail some tests, I guess. But imagine, like, if you, once you get 2 of these in your hand, and assuming that you're just succeeding on every skill event that you play, you just get an automatic +2 on it, and then it returns to your hand. Because this doesn't specify, right, that it, it's not like the unexpected courage type things where you can only commit 1. You could conceivably just commit 2. Unfortunately, you can't really commit it. You're not incentivized to commit it onto events that other people play. And you don't really want to commit it onto like a Mythos test or any sort of test that you're not playing on an event. So the use case is pretty limited, but I mean, if you have like a good event cycle going, I could see this being like pretty good. It's not amazing. Treachery, I'll do it myself. Weakness, flaw. Revelation, I'll do it myself into play in your threat area. As an additional cost for you to play an event, take 1 horror. As a free action, discard 3 events from your hand. Discard, I'll do it myself. Initial impression, this seems pretty bad. Naturally, I mean, you're pretty incentivized to play like an event-focused deck, right? Just based on how her reaction is. But like, just an extra event tax. Imagine trying to play 3 events and just taking 3 horror in 1 turn. 4 if you trigger her weakness. So I mean, this is like a weakness that you definitely have to plan around. And discarding 3 events as well is like really pretty bad. I feel like there's not a lot of situations where you would be like, oh, I can just discard these 3 events that I don't care about. No, that seems bad. Ugh. Yeah, so I guess it's like high highs and high lows sort of deal for Marion. And because of her passive, you're probably, I mean, you're probably gonna at least cycle your deck once most scenarios, right? Just free a draw every turn, more or less. I don't think you play anything other than like an event focus build on her, probably, especially since you are gimped with 1 fewer hand slot. But the 1 fewer hand slot, at least on paper, doesn't sound that bad to me. And like I guess the weird thing is like you can conceivably still play 2-handed things, because Guardian sort of offers like Tinker or something, for example. But I feel like you just play, you go like a Nathaniel Cho route and you just play like, I don't know, like box and glove event focused build, and you just basically, you're just like Nacho, but like a little less good at fighting, but a little better at like being consistent, I guess. That's the impression that I get. Yeah, she's pretty good. I think she'll be good. I'm at least, you know, this is what we'll do. Did I make a tier list thing? Here, I'll do this instead. We're gonna get a notepad. Notepad looks bad though. Well, an Excel file. Excel file looks shit too. Tier list maker. I don't want to make one though. Let's see if they have like a list maker or Gravity card. You think so many things are somehow I doubt it. Yeah, there's no way. Okay. Okay. Notepad it is, you know. We go scuff stream. Let's see here. Oh, don't want that. Oh, let's just leave my passwords. Alright, notepad, there it is. How scuffed is this? How big is this text? That's not big enough. That's as far as I can go, really? Oh my goodness. Alright. Gotta do a little bit of manipulating here. Just give me a second. Okay, that should work. Alright, Marion. Which we rate by? Do we rate by strength? Perceived strength? That's kind of boring, right? Let's rate by how excited I am to play Marion, to play this card, or I guess this series of cards, in this case this Investigator. Marion I will give a 9 out of 10. I think she's gonna be fun. Alright, next. Book of War, Sun Tzu's Legacy. A book for Guardian. Alright, 4 costs. Level 0 commits for 1 intellect. Item tome traits. Uses 3 secrets. After you play a tactic event, spend 1 secret and exhaust the Book of War. When your turn ends, return that event to your hand. Whoa. Okay, I mean, I see the Marion synergy here. I see that she is a Sun Tzu enjoyer. She can play tactics, right? I mean, it's not part of her traits, but most of the, a lot of tactics are in Guardian to begin with. This seems pretty strong. Am I crazy? It's pretty strong. What is a tactic you could get 4 uses out of? Toe-to-toe? Maybe? I mean, it's a lot of damage on yourself, but I guess you can always just play like some sort of soaking boxer. It's 1-2 punch attack, I don't remember. I mean, I think there must be quite a lot of tactics that I think you're going to get a lot of value from. The downside being is that this is 4 costs, which is a little bit expensive. It is a little bit expensive. I would definitely like to play this. You could definitely play this on non-Guardians as well. It's a fun card. It's just a little bit expensive. It's gonna be hard to fit into stuff. I'll give it a 7 minute. Alright, Crowbar. 3 cost, level 0. Commits for a book and a fist. Item, weapon, tool, melee. As an action, exhaust Crowbar, investigate, using your strength instead of intellect, or exhaust Crowbar to fight at +2 for 1 damage. One-handed asset. The investigate is nice. I mean, giving Guardian the option to investigate with their fist is like, that doesn't happen very often, you know. This like the only effect that does this? Using fists in place of, I mean, I guess there's like certain like interrogation type events, but like ah the problem is it's not a very good weapon. You have to you get to fight at +2, but you have to exhaust. I'm trying to think like who could use this. Is it just too not too mediocre, like a jack of all trades, master of none kind of thing? 20 +2 is not bad, but like I mean, they're just better weapons. Maybe you can play this on the tool guy. What's his name again? Oh no, I don't remember his name. Tool guy from Hemlock Vale. You'd be fighting at +3. It's not bad. Investigating at this +1, which is still just 4. Okay, I mean, I could see a use in him. Everybody else, I don't really know. I'm not too excited to play this. This falls into like under like kind of like Katana. I mean, like you can probably make it work on somebody, but like I'm not exactly compelled to put this in decks, I feel like. Alright, Remington. I'll just call it the Remington. I know there's an upgraded version because I've been through the list a little bit. I just haven't gotten a chance to like look at all the cards deeply. Alright, Remington model 1858. A 3-cost asset. It's for fist, item, weapon, firearm. Uses 2 ammo. Spend 1 ammo. You get +1 for this attack. This attack deals +1 damage. The reaction trigger when Remington leaves play, immediately trigger the above ability, ignoring all costs. One-handed gun. So I've seen the level. There's an upgraded version of this. I know that's in the set. That's really good, I think. This level 0 one is honestly not too bad. But with like if you just consider it without the reaction trigger, right? I think it's not very good. Or I should say rather, like there are many other level 0 guns that would be better than this. A 3-cost gun is not that bad though, but two ammo is just like so little. So if you consider the reaction trigger, then I guess effectively you kind of had 3 ammo. But yeah, I don't see a world where like this is that good unless you're sort of intending to get the level up. I suppose there are also ways to bounce the Remington back to your hand instead of discarding it. In those situations, if you can get those off, what's something that can do that? Like sleight of hand on rogue. Yeah, like a rogue can make use of this pretty well, I think. +1/+1, yeah. It's just an okay card. At level 0, I'm not that convinced to play it, honestly. It's higher than Crowbar though. I'll give it 5 out of 10. Again, these rankings are for how excited I am for the card, not necessarily the strength. Alright, prime for action. Guess we're going into events now. The 0-cost event commits for Book Fist, Tactic Bold. It's another bold card, which means play only as your first action. Play a firearm asset from your hand, reducing its cost by 2. Then you may play an upgrade event from your hand, attaching it to that asset if possible. Okay, so then this is like a economy card. Only 2 reduction. But then if you do have an upgrade in hand, you get to play it for free. So you potentially save 1 action and 2 costs by playing this card, with the downside being that you need to have both the firearm upgrade and this card in your hand. I mean, you could stick this on, like, stick to the plan, and I feel like it'd be pretty good. But if you're just looking to do it without that functionality, I feel like it's a lot worse. I don't know. I guess I'm never like that convinced about the upgrade cards. The only one I've really been into is probably like enchant weapon. I guess reliable is pretty good too. And I have not really played with custom mods enough to get a good feel for that card. Okay. I think it's okay. I don't know how excited I am to play this, so I'm gonna give it a 4. Alright, next. An event, 1 cost event, ready for anything. Commits for 1 willpower. Another a bold card, Spirit Bold. The pixels are a little bad on this one. Play only as your first action. Draw 1 card, 2 cards if you drew an enemy this round. Then heal 1 horror. This action does not provoke attacks of opportunity. Okay, so ready for me. I mean, this has Marion in the art, and I feel like it's quite good for Marion. The funny thing is you can like play this, trigger your reaction, and then draw 2 cards. Or 3 if you drew an enemy. That sounds pretty good. I feel like this is almost a must include for Marion. It's really good on her. Is it good on other people too? I think so. I think there's some, like, you know, situations where you would consider wanting to draw instead of hitting something, especially since it doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity. And then the heal 1 horror is just like the little bit of icing on the cake. 1 cost is fine. I mean, this is certainly at least worth 1 cost, I feel like, right? This is good. This is a good card. I can see this borderline being like a Guardian staple in the future, assuming your Guardian is like his main case is like fighting and tanking at level 0 at least. Yeah, I think it's good. Give it a 7. It's not like, I wouldn't call it exciting, but it's still good. Alright, next we have Hard Boiled. The skill, Guardian level 0, emits for 5th Wild, is innate traded, max 1 per test. Hard Boiled gains a 5th Wild for each successful attack you perform this round. Alright, I've seen this card before and I was pretty interested in it. I feel like this is like, I mean, by itself, right? Let's say you don't make any type of successful attacks, it's still +2, which is, you know, like a nerfed overpower, I guess. The innate synergy, who else plays innate? Silas? Yeah, I don't know. But like, I see this having, this is like a very much like a combo card where like you want to like over succeed on like a shotgun or something. You want to over succeed on like maybe a breach to door even. And like you only really need 1 successful attack for this to just pop off. Going 4 fists, right? And you can use it for not fist stuff. if you really want. You know, you hit something like 2 times, we'll say. You hit something 2 times, and then you're at 3 fists 3 wild that you can commit for something to finish your turn. That sounds good. I don't know. And I'm especially curious how non-guardians are going to abuse this card. That being said, like, you do still have to successfully attack something, but not that hard to attack something, right? Barbell at 9. I think it'll be fun. It's gonna be fun. Alright, we're starting to get into the leveled cards. I think they go in order of level, basically. Alright, we have Hunter's Mark. This is a level 1 Guardian event. It's 1 cost, 1 level, commits for a wild. It's a spell. Fast, attached to an enemy at your location. Limit 1 per enemy. Investigators get +1 fist while fighting this enemy. And then when damage is dealt to the attached enemy, you can discard it on a reaction trigger to deal additional damage to that enemy. Any investigator may trigger this ability. That's good. I think this card is very good. 1 cost and 1 XP. It plays fast, and then you just perpetually get +1. You just like throw this on like a boss, it just makes it that much easier to fight, you know? And anybody can take advantage of it. Wow. And you can always just like coup de grace them to get an extra +1 you really need. Can you Sun Tzu this? No, you can't, right? It's not a tactic. Okay. That's good. Like, it wouldn't even, like, I don't even know how it would work with Sun Tzu book. Yeah, I mean, this is just so good. I can't, I don't see, like, any downsides for playing this card. I feel like any fighter that can run this should run this card. Is it that good? It might be that good. At level 1 XP, like, I feel like this is almost like a 2-3 XP effect. Well, +1 fist isn't that much, I guess, but I mean, it's fast too. This is a 10 out of 10. I'm playing this 100%. Alright, next, Alice Luxley, level 2. I've seen Alex Luxley in the Guardian pool many a time, and I don't think I've ever played her. Actually, no. Have I played her once? I might have played her once. Alright. 4 cost, 2 XP, asset, commits for 2 book. It's an allied detective police. You get +1 base intellect. The first investigate action you perform each turn does not provoke attacks of opportunity. And then after you discover a clue, exhaust Alex Luxley to deal 1 damage to an enemy at your location. So this was a, I guess, a community-inspired card. It's 2 health, 3 sanity, soak. It seems pretty good. I don't know, it's like weird playing like book investigators. Or like book reliant investigators, I should say, on in Guardian. I feel like some obvious people that come into mind are like, I don't know, Carolyn, I guess. Any off Guardians that might want this as like a seeker? Joe Diamond, Roland. Maybe. She just doesn't exist, and she's like, feels highly niche, you know? And in that niche, I still don't think she's that good. I mean, like, what is even different about this between the level 0 version? The not provoke attack of opportunity clause, right? Because I'm pretty sure the +1 book and the Discover Clue were already part of her base kit, and those are like the important parts of the kit, I feel like. And I guess she has Fire Soak. Yeah, I don't know. Not super convinced about this. Probably a 3. Might be lower even. These ones, like, once you have to start spending XP for cards, that's like when things become like a lot less incentive to play unless you know you're gonna build around it. Alright, Bulwark. The art for this Bulwark card is sick. I love this. The bullet time, stopping all the bullets, that is cool as fuck. Alright, 2 cost, 2 XP asset, commits for Brain Fist Wild. It's a ritual, takes up an arcane slot. Limit 1 per investigator. Seal the Elder Signer +1. You may resolve this keyword again after you defeat an enemy. When enemy would attack an investigator here, you can exhaust Bulwark and release a sealed token to cancel that attack, and then ready another asset you control. Interesting. I feel like most of the time it's not worth it to seal the Elder Sign, right? I mean, in hard and expert, you don't have a choice, right? In easy and normal, just seal the +1 and you're fine, right? But like, I feel like the opportunity cost for sealing the Elder Sign needs to be like normally pretty good to make it worth. Like, you're not drawing it that often, but like if you do draw it, I guess if you all the investigators on your team are like don't have good Elder Sign abilities, then sure, why not? But if they do, then they're not going to be very happy, or maybe you will not be that happy if you seal the Elder Sign. Is this effect worth it? Canceling attacks is good, and you can repeat it after every enemy you defeat, basically. And canceling attack can, especially some against some of the bigger hits. I mean, it's like you can block an elite hit here. It doesn't specify the kind of enemy, and it lets you ready another asset you control. That, I think, can be pretty interesting. I think it's what takes it into the level 2, like the 2 XP category. This ready another asset you control. Otherwise, I feel like it wouldn't be really worth it. Yeah, seal. I want to play with this, but I don't know how good it's gonna be. Is basically the first impression that I get. I'm gonna give it an 8 because I do want to play with it, and I love the art. I just don't know if it's actually that good. Alright, Leo Anderson's Inspiring Presence, level 2. Okay, so this is an upgrade to a pre-existing card. Commits Brain Book Fist Wild. I think the one difference there is the addition of the wild token. I believe the other 3 commits were already there. Trait Innate Developed. If this skill test is successful, ready an ally asset at your location, heal 1 damage and 1 order from it. I mean, that is a lot of effects happening all at once. Commits for like 2 of something. Man, that seems good. On like some ally heavy decks, this seems pretty good. You ready the asset, you heal 1 and 1 from it. I believe I should bring out the market page. Okay, the normal 0-1. Yeah, you have to either heal 1 or 1. So it's like the level 0 one is you have to pick 1 out of 3 effects, and then this one you do all 3 effects, and you get the additional wild. That is just like a lot of value. It is a little bit niche since it's like kind of more ally focused, but like, I mean, you can anybody that takes like Beat Cop level 2 is like looking at this card and like frothing at the mouth, man. You like tap Beat Cop, fight, use Inspiring Presence, ready to Beat Cop, and then tap the Beat Cop again. That's like 3-4 damage easily in one action. Yeah, this is good. I think this will have a lot of uses. I'm pretty excited to play this 8 out of 10. Alright, locked and loaded. Okay, this is a permanent, Guardian permanent. When per deck, your farm assets with uses ammo enter with 1 additional ammo on them. Alright, it's a very, very straightforward effect. Is it worth 3? Why not? It's like Akachi, but like on any Guardian. Gun Akachi. Yeah, I kind of wish that it wasn't limit 1 per deck. Then you get double locked and loaded in your permanents. Then your Remington comes into play with like 4 ammo. That's it. I mean, it's good, but I'm not exactly like, you know, it's not an exciting card, I feel. But I don't think it's bad. Alright, sorry if you hear me eating a little bit, I'm just having a little biscuit snack. Alright. Quick Shot. 2 cost, 3 XP event. Commits Fist Foot. Myriad Fast. Play only on during your turn. Deal 1 damage to an enemy at your location. After you draw Quick Shot during your turn, play it, reducing its resource cost by 2. Okay. Fast Clause is nice, and you can basically play it at 0 if you draw it on the right turn. I mean, I certainly see Marion synergies, right? If you're just drawing, and you can like look out into an extra 1 damage, and it's fast, it doesn't cost you anything if you do draw it during that time frame, since the draw doesn't, you know, provoke. Obviously, like the enemy is probably going to be engaged to you, right? And in a pinch, you could play this fast at 2 cost. To ping something. I mean, it's a cool card. I don't know how good it is necessarily. I'm not that excited to play this card, but I can see it being good. I think the downside is that just it's pretty conditional in terms of like when it's gonna come up. Like even with the Myriad Clause and you're getting 3 of them, like it's still dependent on you just like fishing for it if you want to trigger it on the reaction play. So for that reason, I can't really. I don't have high expectations in this card, but I like the design of it though. Alright, Big Boy Remington. Remington or pass by. I guess for some reason some of the cards are just like super big on this. I guess maybe all the final cards or something. Alright, Remington model 1858, level 4 version. Costs 2, 4 XP, commits for Fist, Foot. Item, weapon, firearm, same as before. Gets 1 extra ammo. Then you can spend the ammo to fight at +2/+1. And then when it enters or leaves play, immediately trigger the above ability, ignoring all costs. So it gains the clause that when enters play, you can also get to trigger the ability. Now that is definitely sleight of hand territory. I mean, holy shit, I think like the whole idea behind like kind of like a quick draw pistol wielder, gunslinger, you can really pop off with that kind of flavor with this kind of card design. I love it. Ah, oh, that's so sick. I mean, it basically has 5 ammo, right? If you just play it normally, enters play, you get to use it, then you use 3 ammo, and then leaves play, and you put something else into play, and then it triggers its effect again. But I mean, so many like free action possibilities with this gun make me feel like, yeah, sick. It's sick. I mean, you know, the level 0 Remington isn't too much to write home about, but this thing is solid. 10? Do we give it a 10? I'll give it a 10. Sure. I definitely want to try something with this. The downside, I think the main thing is that like for being level 4, a level 4 weapon, +2/+1 is a little bit weak, but you can just get around that with like other means, I feel like. Okay. What is plus? Let me look up Blade 4. Because I was playing with Blade 4 before, and this is +2/+1, right? And like nobody's complaining about the power of this card because Blade 4 is nuts. So I feel like, yeah, this is probably kind of in the same category, just being a level 4 like god tier firearm that gives you just a ton of free plays. Yeah, I like it. Alright, let's move on to Seeker with Lucius Galloway. The Poet, 2415, Scholar Dreamer. After you successfully evade an enemy by 2 or more, discover a clue at your location. Limit once per round. Elder Sign effect is +1 for each enemy at your location, which is basically not an Elder Sign effect. Gets 8/6 on his health and sanity. Basically standard deck building. Seeker 5, Rogue 2, Neutral 5. I mean, yeah, like I see like Seeker 5, Rogue 2. The card pool is obviously like insane. What is it? Reverse Trish, but like it's not that exciting, you know. But I mean, 2415 is a not so stat line. The fact that you can just like evade to get a clue, and you basically don't even want you don't even want enemies to die. You just want to evade for the extra clue. I can see him, you know, probably taking breaking and entering, which we all know is quite good. Alright, level 2, or sorry, signature card, Book of Verse. It's a 2-cost asset, commits for Wild Wallet. Item Tome, it's Lucius's signature. Uses 1 inspiration. Replies this inspiration the first time you discover a clue each round. After revealing chaos tokens during a skill test, you can spend 1 inspiration to get +1 value for this skill test. If you succeed by exactly 0, draw 1 card. I mean, for how strong I feel like Lucius's base is, I feel like the signature is honestly pretty good. Right? I mean, the commit by itself, you know, wild, sure, we take those. I don't know how often you are failing a +1 to get exactly 0 to draw 1 card, but since they are sort of pushing Seekers into this archetype of like, you know, trying to get exact results on certain things to trigger stuff, you can still just +1 something to trigger one of those thresholds. So even if you don't exceed by exactly 0, you're probably still getting value out of the inspiration. And so for that reason, I just feel like, you know, this is a plenty good card. And the inspiration, the replenishing aspect of the book is like quite easy if you're gonna be the seeker, right? Yeah, it's a good card. Dreams of the Flood. It's his signature weakness. Omen End Times. Put the Dreams of the Flood into your play area. The first time you discover one or more clues during your turn, take one horror and shuffle Dreams of the Flood into your deck. I mean, you don't like seeing the shuffle clause. It's usually a bit of a pain. I mean, that being said, like, one horror is pretty whatever, I think, for this card. You're gonna be drawing it a lot, but I mean, like, compared to Marion's weakness, I mean, this is much more manageable. Yeah. This kind of gives me that, like, what is it, Ursula's weakness? It gives me those vibes, but, like, more, you know, you can't, like, not discover clues unless, I don't know, like, what you're doing. I guess you could be an evade fighter, fight fire leashes, just never discover clues. I mean, you could. And then you would just now have to worry about this, but most of the time you're gonna have to worry about this. But even if you have to worry about this, I don't think it's too bad. All things considered, though, I'm not like that excited about Lucius. He's gonna be strong, like, let's not kid ourselves, right? But is he gonna be that exciting? I guess maybe if you find some game-breaking stuff. I'm not personally that excited, though. Okay, and then we have Agatha. You know, Agatha has a Mystic and a Seeker variant. So I'm gonna just write Seeker here. Alright, Agatha is 4413, Miskatonic Scholar. When your turn ends, if you sealed, canceled, or ignored one or more Chaos tokens this round, play a spell or insight from your discard pile. After that event resolves, remove it from the game. Elder Sign +2, you may cancel this token and draw another in its place. If you do, draw one card. 6 health, 8 sanity. Has 35 deck size, so a little bit larger than the normal. Which I think makes sense because you're gonna be, because her kind of thing shtick is to, you know, put events into discard and then remove them from play. So I guess it makes sense. Secret up to 5, neutral up to 5, insight up to 3, and then up to 10 other level 0 mystic cards. So I guess she has 2 degrees, mathematics and psychology, and I guess the mathematics one is tied to Seeker, and the psychology one is tied to Mystic? I don't know. I mean, the deck building seems a little bit, actually, you know, up to 10 level 0 mystic cards is pretty good. Like, if you see 5, I feel like 5 is not a good, 5 is just like a weird number, I feel like, for Arkham, because, like, sometimes I see, like, the Dog Witch Splash, and then I'm, like, playing somebody, and I'm like, I want to include 2 of this, 2 of this, and 2 of this from other stuff, but then they just won't let you because you can only pick 5. So I really wish they, like, I don't know, like, tabooed or, like, sort of made it so, like, you can play 6 of something instead of 5, but just small nitpick. Alright, her signature, 3 cost, Ocula Obscura, Esoteric Eyepiece. This gives me, like, creepy vibes. Her, like, staring into my soul. Commits her Brain Book Wild. Item Tool Science. Agatha Crane deck only. After you succeed at a skill test and no tokens are sealed here, you can seal a non-symbol token revealed during this test. Obscula. Live once per phase. When you would reveal a token from the chaos bag, you can resolve the token sealed here instead, then release that token. It's an accessory. This seems very good. I mean, like, if you get like a good token off of succeed, then it basically almost guarantees, right, that you're going to succeed at whatever your next test is going to be, and you know you're going to succeed at it. It's so I just feel like it's so versatile in terms of like what you can do. Like if you seal something at the end of your turn, you can save that for like maybe a bad mythos phase upcoming or something that you like, you know, you're gonna test. And you have to reveal the token from here, right? But like it is only you, so it's fine. And it's once per phase. Once per phase is like really good. So like you trigger a test, you succeed during the mythos phase, you put that token onto, you know, whatever, right? And even if it's like a bad token, like you draw like a -5 or something, but you somehow succeeded anyway, you don't have to keep the token, right? It's not forced. So like, oh man, that's so gross. The more I look at this, the more I feel like it's insane. Is the Seeker accessory slot that contested? I feel like it's not. Maybe if you play the Mystic version, there's definitely some competition there, but on the Seeker side, I mean, I don't know, Eon Chart or something, but like, the point is that you can definitely make this work as your only accessory. Yeah, I feel like this is good. Alright, Treachery, Glimpse the Void, Blunder Insight, so weakness, Akasa's signature. Put Glimpse the Void into play in your threat area. The first time you reveal one more chaos tokens during each skill test, you must reveal one additional chaos token and resolve its effects. And then you can spend an action to shuffle it into your deck. Again, you don't like seeing the shuffle clause. It is only one action to get rid of it, but like, yeah, shuffle weaknesses, man. And this is like, this effect is pretty bad too. Just have to do 2 tokens every time until you shuffle it back. But the action tax is like so minimal that I feel like you might as well just shuffle it, right? That being said, like I feel like if you're on your second deck cycle, cancel too many cards, or you did too much of your passive ability to like remove cards from play, you might be triggering this a lot on the Secret variant. But you could also just tank the Chaos token, the double Chaos token maybe. I feel like this is like bad early, and then maybe later on it's probably not as bad once you get the kind of the capabilities to deal with it. Yeah, it's not too bad. I think Ocula itself kind of like makes me want to play Agatha. I'll give her an 8. This stuff, like the play spell or insight from the discard pile, I honestly don't really care about that. Oh, I didn't read her Elder Sign effect. +2. You may cancel this token and draw another in its place. If you do, draw 1 card. So potentially draw another token that's not the +2 to draw a card. Yeah, I don't really feel like... I feel like you would usually want to succeed. But sometimes you might want to draw. I don't know. I probably won't. Alright, we got the researched parts of this set. Style of Ancients. Alright, unidentified version, level 0. It's 3 cost. Commits for book. Item read cursed. Okay, cursed. Do like the curse tag. Limit 1 per deck. Are all of them cursed? They are. Nice. Uses 0 charges. After an enemy, at your location is evaded. Place 1 charge on Dial of Ancients. Then, if there are 4 more charges, record that you have calculated the Day of Reckoning. It's an accessory slot. Okay, accessory slot. Not bad. Evading is a little weird for Seeker. I mean, obviously Lucius can do it, right? So you're definitely incentivized to play this with Lucius. You're gonna do it. Who else has like high foot Seeker? Ursula, I guess, F4. Is there anybody else? I feel like everybody else is pretty not that high. And then you have to consider, like, to play the level 4 version, you need to be at least Seeker 4, which is pretty much anybody, or Curse, which is like probably not enough people outside of the class that I feel like can take this. Yeah. So the upgraded versions are kind of whatever. So the use case of this is basically just like Lucius and I guess Ursula. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, let's see if the research are any good. Lines of Cataclysm. Item Relic Curse level 4 commits both wild. It's research limit 1 per deck, and then it gets the 4 charges that you use to charge it. When Investigator fails a skill test at your location, exhaust and seal the Chaos token revealed during that test. When the round ends, for each Chaos token sealed here, you must spend 1 charge or release that token. Huh. Okay, so this protects you against like bad tokens. So like any really bad symbol effects on a scenario, some huge minus number, or the autofail. Sounds. I mean, the effect is good, but is it like 4 XP research good? 4 turns of not worrying about like the autofill token. I guess that's pretty good. It's like a better version of Seal the Elder Sign. Maybe not better, but like it's about at that level. 4 rounds. I think 4 rounds might last longer than 7 charges of Seal the Other Sign. Maybe. Akachi play this. It does use charges. Some sort of Akachi tech. I'd be interested. I'm always interested to try like goofy charge stuff. Cause I mean like theoretically speaking, right? Like you can recharge this with, let's say, I think like Call Beyond works, right? I mean, you can't do the bottom part, but like, you just get 4 charges back. Or like Ariane's Twine. And you just forever seal the Elders, or the autofill. Okay, I mean, it's funny. Alright, we'll do like, we'll rate them separately. I think Cataclysm, I'll do like a 6. It's not high on my, priority list in terms of excitement to play, but it's goofy. Alright, Signs of Aberration, Dial of Ancients. Same thing, Fist Wild instead of Book Wild. Item Relic Cursed. Research, limit 1 per deck. Uses 4 charges. Also, the 1 per deck thing is a little bit, that's another problem with this, I think. Alright, Fight Evade. Just a basic, not really basic, but no buff Fight Evade. When you reveal Chaos token during this attack or evasion time, you may spend 1 charge to cancel that token, return it to the bag, and reveal a new one. You may do this any number of times. If this test succeeds, deal 1 damage to targeted enemy. Okay, so it's a +1 damage thing. At no plus fist. Oh, but you get to deal the 1 damage if you evade too. Interesting. I guess the nice thing about this actually is that you don't need to cancel the token to get the +1 damage, if I'm reading this right? You only spend the charge to cancel the token. That seems pretty good. I guess the downside being that like it's an unbuffed evasion or an unbuffed fight. But you can get around that, I think. Might never matter. Or just play Lucius, just evade at 5, deal 1 damage. That seems good. I feel like this is maybe what you pick for Lucius. Cause you deal like 1 damage, you get to evade. If you evade by 2 or more, you get a clue too. That's just like a lot of value for this. Okay. Yeah, honestly, like the fight action is probably even more compelling than the evade action, sorry, is more compelling than the fight action, I feel like, for this one. Give it a 7. Right, Signs of Revelation. Same research, limit 1 per deck, 4 charges. Commits for Brain Wild. As a free trigger during your turn, exhaust and spend 1 charge. Investigate. When revealing chaos tokens for this test, reveal X additional tokens, where X is the number of enemies at your location. Choose 1 of the revealed tokens to resolve and ignore the rest. Whatever. I mean, getting this to work is like a little bit convoluted when you'd rather just evade or kill the guy. Yeah, this is like a 2 for me. Not too incentivized. I think the other 2 are way more interesting and strong. Sorry, Revelation. Alright. Alton. O'Connell. Ghost Hunter 3. Resources to play. Level 0 asset. Commits for Brain Book. Ally Detective Reporter. It's got 2/1 soak. You get +1 foot. After you succeed at a skill test by exactly 3. Place 1 resource on Alton as evidence. Exhaust Alton and spend X evidence. Discover 1 clue at your location. X is the shroud value of your location. Exactly 3? Goodness. How often is that coming up? Probably not that often. You could, like, I don't know, use this as like an evidence battery for Daryl, maybe? Is that crazy? The evidence for per clue value is bad, I think. Like, you might use this on like a 1-shot location, but and maybe 2. Are you gonna use this on like a 3-4 shot location? Maybe if you're desperate. I think you'd prefer just having the free clue on like a lower shot location. Yeah, it's like a level 0 ally. I'm not super convinced. I mean, you get the boot, which is kind of unique. I don't really know. I guess I have to think about like where this guy fits in, because you need to play like somebody that takes advantage of the foot and somebody that takes advantage of doing exactness, which means like, I guess exactly, which is cowboy. But I'm trying to think, like, does he work anywhere else? And I'm not sure that he does. Alright. Artistic Inspiration, 2 cost asset, commits for wild. Oh my god, that art is freaky. Alright, it's a talent, limit 1 per investigator. Not 1 per deck, uses 1 inspiration. You can exhaust Artistic Inspiration, discard 1 card from your hand to replenish this inspiration. And then after revealing chaos tokens for this skill test you're performing, spend 1 inspiration, you get +1 or -1 value for this skill test. Okay, so then we got a little bit of modifier manipulation here. Pretty consistent one at that. I mean, all you have to do is discard a card. Is it worth discarding a card for 1 inspiration? Maybe not. It depends. Depends on how valuable your exact triggers are. But I mean, if you're going that archetype, I feel like this is not bad. I'm not that inspired, haha, play it, but I think it's. Is it strong? I don't know if I could say it's strong, but it's decent at least, I think. Alright, Forensic Kit. This is a 3 cost level 0 asset. Commits for book, foot. It's an item, tool, science, takes up 1 hand slot. Uses 4 supplies, spend 1 supply, investigate. For this investigation, you can use boot instead of book. You get +1 skill value. If you succeed and there is an exhausted enemy at your location, heal 1 horror. Man, they're really pushing this like idea of needing an enemy at your location to like evade. And I guess it makes sense, but like, you know, maybe in Drowned City, I imagine it might come up a lot, but like in other campaigns, it's probably a little bit less consistent. It all varies from campaign to campaign. The main draw for this is doing the book instead of doing the boot instead of the foot or the book. God, I'm mixing up my symbols. And getting the +1, which is nice. I mean, like, that's investigating at 6 on like Monterey Jack, on Lucius. Like if there's an exhausted enemy, that is like maybe Trish. I don't know. It's a nice little, you know, topping, but I just don't feel like it's gonna come up that much. I'm not particularly excited for this card. Alright, moving on to Mortar and Pestle. 2 cost level 0 asset, commits for willpower, item full science again. Uses 0 resources. Resources on Mortar and Pestle may be spent to pay for spell cards, and then after you discover 1 or more clues, exhaust Mortar and Pestle to put 1 resource on it from the token. Okay, so this is like a economy card to do spells. I guess maybe there's some Agatha synergy there. And then basically anybody else with like a Mystic Slight mostly. Okay, I mean, I think it's fine. I'm not like excited about it. But I mean, you'll fill this up pretty quick. If you think about it, right? With how Milan is, when you successfully investigate, you get 1 resource. This is basically Milan, but you don't get the book. Costs 2 less, and it can only be used for spells. Still, I mean, if you've got a lot of spells, Milan effect isn't that bad. But I'm a little bit more convinced over the forensic kit in terms of like wanting to play it, but still not that excited about it. Alright, Oculus Warp Tomb. 3-cost asset, item, tool, occult. Okay, another occult card. Don't see those that often. Uses 0 evidence. After you seal, cancel, or ignore a chaos token, exhaust Oculus. Place 1 evidence on it. You know what I just thought? I just realized that Agatha's Elder Sign ability, you may want to cancel it to trigger her passive ability. That would be one use case where you might want to do it, because then you also get to draw a card and you get to trigger the passive. Forgot about that. Oh man, and then the Oculus era, you could, if you succeed on an Elder Sign, you can bank the Elder Sign. Oh man, that signature is so good. Okay. Sorry. After you seal, cancel, or ignore a chaos token, exhaust Oculus Mortem, place 1 evidence on it. Okay. It's a lot easier to get evidence on this. And I'd rather have this as an evidence battery for Daryl, if anything. Although I don't know how often Daryl's canceling stuff. When enemy attacks an investigator at your location, spend 1 evidence and exhaust Oculus Mortem. Discover 1 clue at your location. Okay, so what? It's like the flavor is like you're taking a picture of the ghost. That enemy has a ghost straight to 1 damage to it. How often does it? You know what? This makes me think there's gonna be quite a few Geist enemies. There's gonna be quite a few Geist enemies in this campaign, probably. Why else would they include this? They wouldn't just include this for flavor. Oh, hello! Look at that, Scrub 699. Is this spoilers? I mean, not really. What they do is like, because this is for the upcoming campaign that will be released, I don't remember, I think like March, late February or something. And they just like preview some of the cards to get people excited for the new campaign, but we don't actually know anything like about the campaign itself, other than I think it's gonna be around Cthulhu. That's the big baddie. How many campaigns behind are we? A lot. So, I mean, I wouldn't worry about it too much. But there's no story spoilers per se, except for what I'm just talking about right now, because this card here has specific text that cites enemy with Geist traits, which is not particularly common in most campaigns as far as I know. And I'm also rating the cards based on not strength, although I should probably put that somewhere in text, but it's fine. This is a very scuffed stream, I just decided to do it on a whim. But I'm rating them by how interested I am in playing them, or how excited I am for them to be in the card pool. Speaking of which, this card gets a... much do I care about Geists? Probably not that much. I'd probably put this on tier with Forensic Kit. Tier list after? I mean, yeah. I should have, what's this? Ideally, I would have just done a tier list for this, but I decided to start this stream very impromptu, so I didn't get much ready, except for the thumbnail, which I put together in like 5 minutes, so. I can talk about how strong they are, which is what I'm doing. So far, let's see. Most of my ratings, I think, have gone the way of how strong I think they are, with a few exceptions. There's like Hardboiled, I don't think is like actually a 9 out of 10 strength. but it's a card that I think is cool. Hunter's Mark, I think, is strong and exciting, stuff like that. So it all varies, you know. You can catch all those other rankings if you watch the VOD later, because I don't think I have the DVR. Here, I'll show you the 10 out of 10. You can see if you agree with me. This 1 cost, 1 XP, fast, attached to an enemy. They get plus. Everybody gets +1 while fighting, and then you can discard it to deal 1 damage. Yeah, it looks gross. I think it's crazy. Looking forward to the flavor. Thank you. Oh, I didn't reply to you about your Discord message. Sorry, I saw it and then in a notification. But I think probably the rest of this week is not that good for me. And then I'm going to Philly on Friday. But next week should be fine, I think. We'll plan it. I'll pen something in. Yeah, the Ranger D&D. I don't even remember what Hunter's Mark does in D&D, but I don't think it's exactly like that. I remember Hunter's Mark not being that good. Send a calendar invite? Yeah, sure. Gotta get those calendar invites. Book up your Outlook and make it look like you're really busy, even at night. Although you'd have to send it to my work email for that to work, I guess. +1 to 2 to hit and you know where they are. Okay, I guess that's fairly similar with the not caveat of the +1 damage, which only really goes off once, so. Okay, yeah, flavor-wise they're pretty similar then. Guardian is not really like a ranger class though. Maybe it is. I'd have to like think about how to make all the ties to all the classes. Obviously there's more D&D classes than there are Arkham classes, but... Oh, sorry. Yeah, let me go. This. Alright, Uncanny Specimen. 1 class asset. Looks like a little bro in an Erlenmeyer flask. Creature. It is a little bro. Science. For some reason it takes up arcane slots. Period fast. Up to 3 Uncanny Specimen can take up 1 arcane slot. Okay. So kind of like a power self. Reaction. When a skull, cultist, tablet, or squid token symbol is revealed during a skill test, discard Uncanny Specimen, cancel that token, return it to Chaos Bag, and reveal a new one. This test is successful, draw 1 card. Huh. Okay, so I see some cancel archetype going on here, but it doesn't cost much and it's fast. I kind of wish it extended the symbols to any symbol, but I guess it would be too strong. You could cancel autofills. So maybe not that then. Successful, draw 1 card. It's kind of, I guess this is sort of like a deck thinner, almost, in a way. Replaces itself if you cancel something successfully. Okay. I dig it. I'm not excited to play it, though, per se. Yeah, I'm not that excited to play this. I think it's actually pretty strong, though. I'll give it a 4 out of 10. Alright. Correlate. I'm just gonna say correlate. Event 1 cost 0 XP. Correlate all its contents. Commits for brain and book. It's an insight card. Agatha, I guess. I mean, you could already play this anyway on Seeker Agatha. I'm assuming that the Mystic Agatha will be Mystic with 10 Seeker cards, but we'll see. Investigate. You may cancel the first Chaos token revealed for the skill test, return it to the bag, and reveal a new one. If you succeed at this skill test, place one charge on a secret charge or secret on an asset controlled by an investigator at your location. If you succeed by exactly 1 or 3, place 2 charges or secrets instead. What? What, crazy? Is this not like mega broken? This seems really good. It's like a lot of investment maybe on my skill set to use, yeah. Oh, you meant for an uncanny specimen? Alright, enjoy your dinner. See ya. Oh, I made Cheddar Bay biscuits today, by the way. They came out pretty decent. I didn't put enough butter, I think. But even without the butter, or without the sufficient butter, I mean, they asked you to use like a 1/4 cup of butter, which is like, what? A 1/4 of the stick? I felt like that was way too much. So I used 1/8 instead. But anyway, enjoy your dinner. But yeah, I feel, oh my god, Corley. I think Corley is really good. Okay, let's go over this again, right? You can cancel, it's an investigate, which is what you want to do anyway. You can cancel the token, which has synergies for cancel stuff. And if you get a bad one, you can try again basically. If you succeed, you can put 1 charge on something. Putting charges, I think, is generally like a pretty strong ability. You think like, you know, Luke Robinson, right? And it has the potential to put 2 charges if you succeed by 1 or 3, which is what Seekers, I guess, are being pushed to do in this expansion. And it can be on any investigator. What the fuck? It's too much better. No, you're right, you're right. I think this is good. This has to be good. I just read this and I feel like it might be one of the best level 0 Seeker cards, maybe. Okay, I mean, like, yeah, the caveat being like you have to, you know, play stuff with charges and secrets, but like you're doing that pretty often, right? On Seeker, play like Grim Memoir or something. Oh my god, this has to be a 10, I think. I'm gonna put this in like every Seeker deck. Ah, it just seems so good. Again, the 1 or 3 off, like, sort of incentivizes you. It incentivizes you to play on the Seeker exact archetype, but you don't even really need to get the 2, I feel like, for this to be worth. Because, like, what is stronger? Investigating at, like, a plus number, or canceling and revealing a new token? I feel like they can be pretty comparable, but, I mean, canceling is pretty strong. I don't know. Yeah, Corley's a 10, man. I'm playing the shit out of this card. Alright. Next, we got Cosmic Revelation. Oh my god, it's 10 already. I might have to push this into 2 streams. I don't know if I'm gonna have time the rest of the week. We'll see. I'll try to finish Seeker and maybe do one more class. We'll see. Alright, Cosmic Revelation. We're starting to get to XP. 1 XP, 0 costs. Event. Insight spell. Choose even or odd. Each investigator reveals each non-weakness card in their hand with a cost matching the chosen option, which is even or odd that you chose. In player order, each investigator may choose to either draw one card from their deck or play one card they revealed from their hand, paying its cost. Okay. I mean, you could think of this as like a 0 cost draw 3, draw 4, depending on. I don't think you play this at any less than 2. But at 3 or 4, seems reasonable. Or they can play, which is like action compression as well. Huh. It is 1 XP. Maybe if it was Myriad, it would be decent. I think yeah, the 1 XP I think is preventing this from being. It is like a very, like a 1 XP card, but it's not like a 1 XP card that I want to invest in, if that makes sense. I think it's a cool card though. I do like the art as well. I don't know, for some reason I like look at this card art and I'm like, this is a Myriad card. It just gives me like Myriad card vibes, but it's not actually a Myriad card. It's just kind of goofy. But yeah, I do kind of want to try this card, but I don't think it's gonna be that good. Alright. Quick-witted. Oops, not loaded. Quick-witted. It is a 1 experience Seeker's Skill, innate Myriad. So this one is Myriad. Quick-witted gains. Is this an Indiana Jones reference? This is Indiana Jones, right? For sure. Okay. I swear I've seen this like exact pose, but like Harrison Ford. Alright, sorry. Myriad. Quick-witted gains book foot for each other copy of quick-witted in your discard pile. So you can go up to 3 book 3 foot. After this skill test ends, you may shuffle each other copy of quick-witted in your discard pile into your deck. Huh. Okay. I was gonna initially say like, okay, this is kind of like, it's a little bit in line with like how hard-boiled is, but with it being 1 XP and then being able to shuffle it back, that's quite different. I mean, at 1 book, 1 foot, obviously this card is like not very good in the first play that you do. You could just discard it. And then once you get 2 book, 2 foot, it starts being pretty good, especially if you have stuff that like uses both symbols. And then I guess the question is like, can you abuse this somehow to always get 3 book 3 foot? So like commit it and then somehow bounce it back to your hand. Silas could do it. I think he played with me, right? No, otherwise it's... Yeah, this is like a pretty average card, I think. I don't know. The shuffle is nice. The shuffle is pretty nice. It's got a weird effect though, like, feels very more survivor coded effect. Look at it 5. I think it's just okay. Alright. This art is hilarious. Misdirection. Ooh. It's a little goofy. It's on the goofy end, in my opinion. Hmm. Alright, 2 cost, 2 XP asset. Commits book, foot, wild. It's a ritual. Limit 1 per investigator, seal it +1 or 0. Oh, okay. I guess maybe everybody's gonna get one of these, like, arcane rituals. Guardian got Bulwark, so I'm assuming other people are gonna get stuff like this too. Limit 1 for investigator, seal +1 or 0. You may resolve this keyword again after you discover the last clue at your location. That comes up considerably less than the enemy one, I guess. When an enemy attacks an investigator, exhaust and release the tokens slot here. Cancel that attack. Okay, another cancel. Okay, so I guess maybe they're all gonna be like attack mitigation. Then that investigator may move to a connected location. Okay, I mean, sealing the 0 is definitely a lot less painful than sealing the Elder Sign. And then you get +1 option on both, which is also fine. Huh. What did I give Bulwark? I gave Bulwark a high rating, I think, because the art was sick. But like, honestly, I mean, I'm gonna rate this more in line with probably how I actually feel about the card. It's probably closer to 5 out of 10. Maybe even less, actually. Well, that being said, like, ready an asset is definitely more interesting than the move. For your secondary thing. It is 6. The other problem is that when you move, the enemy stays on you, right? Because the enemy's attacking. I mean, I guess if they're massive, they don't. But like, assuming that you're like attached to something, and then you apply misdirection to cancel the attack, you don't disengage from the enemy, so it's still on you. I mean, I think there are situations where you probably want to move with the enemy, but most situations I feel like you won't. For that reason, I'm going to deduct points. Alright. Scientific studies grant. I'm gonna call scientific. Alright. 3 costs, 2 XP asset, commits brain book. It's a grant. Limit 1 per investigator. You have 2 additional hand slots, which may only be used to hold science or tool assets. Interesting. I haven't really played the science archetype, so like, I don't really know how strong the science setup is. I mean, they obviously put a bunch in Kate's cycle, but even those I haven't really played much, and then I guess they're adding more here. I imagine having a lot of these assets is like nice, and you might be able to make some cool synergies that I can't really think of on hand, since I haven't really played the thing much. Even for tool assets, I mean, you can play like flashlight. Why not? You know. I'm not that excited about it because I can't think of anything like really cool for the science stuff to do, but I don't doubt that it's I don't think it's bad, at least right now. Working Hunch getting an upgrade and a different art. Is this different art? This is different art, right? Yeah. Alright, it's 2 costs as before, 2 XP, so an upgrade. Commits book, insight. Fast playing only during your turn, discover 1 clue. Any revealed location, so not just your location. Which I guess is the only change. Huh. Is it just me, or is this not worth 2 XP. I figured like if they're gonna give it the upgrade, I mean any revealed location can be pretty good in some particular scenarios, but like I don't think you go 2 XP deep for this upgrade. I really don't. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe on like Joe Diamond, because you're gonna play insights for like your hunch deck. But everybody else, you're still playing the 2 cost. Yeah, it's not enough of an upgrade, I feel like. Maybe if it was 1 XP, or if it did something else, or like maybe the cost was reduced, but if it's just changing the location, I personally feel like that's not really worth it. So I guess I'm not that excited to play it. I mean, Working a Hunch is, I mean, don't get me wrong, like Working a Hunch is already like a pretty good card at level 0, I think. It is a little bit on the expensive end, and this doesn't help change that. It's your Joe Diamond, but like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think very highly of this card. I mean, I guess if you're doing like a broken like infinite deck or whatever, then and you're somehow playing like you're using Working a Hunch to like to loop over and over, then sure, okay. But otherwise, you know, if you're just playing like a normal deck, I don't see the value in upgrading this that much. Alright, time for the Seeker end piece. Antikythera. 3, I guess the Seekers always get like a really high-end asset, huh? 5 XP, 3 cost asset, commits Bulk Wild, Item Relic Science. After you succeed at a skill test, exhaust Antikythera. Sorry, I should put down. It's an accessory. After you succeed at a skill test, reaction, exhaust Antikythera. If you succeeded by exactly 1 or 3, discover what clue. Exactly 2 or 4, draw a card and gain 1 resource. Exactly 5, you may take an additional action during your next turn. Huh. Okay, so another thing that, you know, promotes exactness stuff, science. Accessory slot is a little annoying, I feel like. Maybe not. It's worth 5 XP. It is a very interesting item. I mean, the biggest things to consider are the first 2 bullets, right? The 1 or 3 and the 2 or 4. And then you don't really want to succeed at 0, right? Like exceeding by 5 is like, not only is it hard, but you only get the action on your next turn. Which I feel like, I mean, it's a good payoff, but like, man, if you can do this twice, succeed by 5 twice, or something, and just like untap this or something, then maybe it could be good. But honestly, like even if you just use this for the 1 or 3, I feel like you're getting an insane amount of value. Like deduction every turn. Fuck, man. And then you just play some stuff that like helps tinker your stuff up 1 or 3 after the fact. Oh, I mean, I can see myself playing this. I think this is a pretty cool card. Give it an 8. I don't play the end piece Seeker stuff enough, you know? I'm always interested in it, but I just feel like I never get up there. Alright, we'll do Rogue and then call it. I hope I can try to finish like next 20-30 minutes or so. I have seen Michael McGlenn. I know that he's like mostly firearm stuff, so maybe we can go a little bit faster here. Alright, Michael McGlenn, Rogue, the Gangster. 3153 is already right off the bat look really good. Criminal, Hunter. After you spend one or more ammo on a firearm asset, gain one resource. Limit one per firearm asset per round. +2, you may place one ammo on a firearm asset you control. 5. A little shaky on the sanity end, but deck size 30, you can go rogue 0 to 3, neutral 0 to 5. Cards with firearm either in their trait or their text box 0 to 5. Okay, so deck building wise, he is a little bit, I feel, restricted. I mean, being able to play every fire, like any firearm, is nice, but that's basically just like Guardian, right? So, like, okay, you get some of the high-end Guardian stuff. What do you lose at level 4-5 Rogue? Like Red Clock, I guess you can't really play. What else? I feel like that kind of is like, that was like Finn's problem a little bit earlier too, right? I mean, Finn is totally playable though, so like, I feel like the Rogue 0-3 is totally fine as main deck building source. I don't think you're missing out on too much high-end stuff. Off the top of my head, at least. Yeah. I mean, 3153. What a stat line! Holy moly! Would it be better if he was 4 in one of these in Brainer book? Maybe. But I mean, oh man, because you know we get back into like the discussions of like Tony Morgan, right? And Tony, we know, is like more or less, I think, the best fighter in the game. I think. Just with Switchblade 2 alone, like haste, and you could play that on the Glen, right? Switchblades 2, haste is at 2, and then you just take, like, I don't know, take a fist ally, and then go to town. Man, but I mean, obviously, you know, of course, certainly you're more incentivized to play firearms, and I will definitely be playing firearms if I play this person. But you don't theoretically have to. Alright, let me go over Viola Case and his weakness real quick. Viola Case, 2 cost asset, commits for every symbol in a wild. Item elicit. You have 2 additional hand slots which can only be used to hold firearms. After you play Viola Case, search the top 9 cards for a firearm and add it to your hand. Shuffle your deck. I mean, perfect synergy with the rest of his kit. You know, just being able to hold a whole ton of firearms. Even if you don't like, I think about it where it's like, if you are blasting with like 4 firearms, you're getting like 4 money a turn. And you know, usually the guy's gonna be dead after probably 3 shots, right? But like, oh man, make good money off of just firing. That's nice. You could also play like the upgraded Thompson, get even more money. Confiscation is his signature weakness. It's a blunder. Shuffle each firearm asset in your play into your deck. If no asset was shuffled, take 1 damage and shuffle Confiscation back into your deck. So, I mean, that's a pretty mild weakness, all things considered, in my opinion. I will say, like, there are probably situations where, like, you need to fight something and maybe you like couldn't kill it in one turn, and then confiscation comes up, shuffles all your weapons into your deck, and then you are without weapon to fight the baddie that is still on you. And usually if that baddie is still on you, that probably meant something went wrong, or like it's a big enemy. That is the specific situation where I feel confiscation would be pretty bad. However, like, I imagine those situations are pretty far and few between. You can always play around this, I think, by just keeping one firearm in your hand, you know? And then, like, okay, maybe you have to, like, tank something to play it. But you're gonna have enough money. I feel like with this passive, you can, like, arguably play, like, big money, big money gunner or something. I'm exaggerating a little. Like, the income from his ammo thing probably isn't that much, but like, yeah, this confiscation is very mild, I think, as a weakness. And comparatively, I think Viola case is like pretty darn good if you're gonna play firearms. Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking about like even the Remington on McGlenn is gonna go insane. You know, Remington level 4, sleight of hand, Viola case. You get like 2 out, you're just like boom, 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 boom. You know, like, I think it's gonna be good. I'm excited. Well, I give Remington. I'm gonna give it the same rating. 10? Oh, okay. I don't know if I'm gonna give McGlenn 10. I'll give it a 9. I think, you know, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I don't think I've played like firearm fighter before, like a dedicated firearm fighter, so that'll be cool. Alright, let's see if they get any cool guns on the rogue side. I think I saw a Gatling gun. They'll probably be at the end because it's high XP, but I don't think I've seen any of the other ones. Alright, Luger, POH. 2 cost asset, commits for 1 fist, item, weapon, firearm, illicit, uses 2 ammo. Exhaust Luger, spend 1 ammo. It's a free trigger. You get +1 fist. Doesn't do extra damage. Spend 1 resource, replenish all the ammo on Luger and ready it. Wow. What the heck? I mean, a free fight is a free fight, you know, even if it's for 1 damage. At the very least, you're getting the +1 fist. You play on Michael, that's you're fighting at 6 for free. It's like Garrote Wire, but better. This is good. Is this not good? I feel like this is good. You take a free firearm, and I'm sure you do. And it's like infinite ammo, basically. Oh man, can we gonna play cleaning kit? This cleaning kit have oh, he can't play cleaning kit. At least not level 0. Or he can't play the other one either, actually. Gonna say that would be pretty good, I think. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I think the Luger's good, right? It's a low-cost gun that goes infinite. I mean, you know, you don't get the +1 damage, but it's a free fight, so really isn't anything to complain about. I think it's incredibly solid, and I'll probably be putting it on in a good amount of my decks. Alright, Robert Castagne. How do you pronounce this? Castagne. What is that? I I don't know what that last like where the nationality of that last name is. All right, four resource, level 0 asset. It's for fist. It's an ally veteran. You get +1 fist. Okay, so another fist ally for rogues that isn't Lonnie, which is good. You know, always welcome some alternatives in that slot. Lonnie is already very good though. So, alright, his action is discard a firearm asset that takes up 1 or fewer hand slots from your hand and exhaust Robert. Resolve a fight ability on the discard asset, ignoring all costs. This does not provoke attacks of opportunity. 2 health, 2 sanity, ally. Okay. Is this better than Lonnie? I mean, I see the Remington. I got Remington on my mind, man. You know, Remington works here. But I mean, he just lets you get like one extra action off of every gun that you play. One-handed gun that you play. That itself, you know, plus you just get a +1 fist as a base stat. That's solid, you know. I'm definitely looking forward to trying to at least play this instead of Lonnie. So, just happens that he also has the firearm synergy. Would you play him without the firearm trait? No, because I don't think he has anything. I mean, Lonnie's 2/3 and costs the same. So you don't play this guy. You don't play this guy on any non-gun people. So his use case is limited, but I think on those people, he's pretty solid. Alright, string along. Recost, asset, talent. When you attempt an evade, exhaust string along. For this evasion attempt, you get +1 value, and the enemy gains alert. If you succeed, draw 1 card and do not disengage from that enemy. Huh, interesting. So it's just like pickpocketing at higher risk, but you get +1 for it. The +1's probably worth it in that regard. There's definitely situations where you would rather disengage from stuff like that, but I think because of the way that they are seemingly incentivizing you to keep enemies around rather than kill everything, I think this works better for that. So that you invade something, but it's like, oh, but I still want an enemy in my vicinity in order to do enemy related shenanigans. So I feel like this synergizes decently with that, but generically speaking, it's like a pickpocketing side grade. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm willing to try it, I think. I'm willing to try it. But whether or not it's like that good, I don't know. Where's the party? Alexandra, chill. Oh, these guys have knives too. What the heck is going on here? Zero cost event from its book. Oot. Parlay, search the encounter deck for discard pile for a non-elite enemy and spawn it exhausted and engaged with you. Draw cards equal to that enemy's combined damage and horror values. Oh, okay. Okay, just like put an enemy down to draw potentially a decent amount of cards. I feel like it's generally speaking not that worth it to draw something that only draws you 1 card. But sometimes you might just want like a weak enemy to string along, haha, and evade. It's 0 cost, which is fine. I don't know. You need to get like a pretty decent amount of the value, I think, for this to be worth it. Are there any, like, I'm trying to think of some situation, like some monsters that are like hit you for like, I don't know, 2/2 and you like draw 4 cards. That's probably pretty worth it. I don't know. I don't think I really want to play this. I just don't like the, I don't love the archetypes that like have you keep enemies around. I think that's my main problem. But I mean, if they incentivize me enough to play it, then think about it. Alright, you've had worse. So it's a nod to I've had worse. Is this the same girl? Doesn't look like the same girl from I've had worse. Maybe it is. They look a little bit similar. Yeah, maybe not. Alright, it's a 0 cost event. Brain Foot. The favor. Fast, play with an investigator at your location or connecting location. Is dealt damage in a horde. The investigator may spend up to 3 resources. For each resource spent, the investigator cancels 1 damage or horde. Okay. So it's basically I've had worse. But worse? No. Is it? I mean, it's in Rogue, and it's level 0. I've had worse is level 2, so I guess it makes sense that the resources gained rather than spent. Honestly, this isn't too bad. If you make, as long as you make decent amount of resource in your income, this is like totally playable. I do feel like you probably play on yourself more than other people, just because like the rogue is the one that's probably gonna have the money. But in a pinch, you know, you could throw this on somebody. The added connecting location clause is pretty nice on this. Okay, yeah, the more I look at it, I think the more I'm convinced that this is not just the worst I've had worse. And it goes up to 3, which is nice too. Okay, yeah. I mean, at least try it, you know, on the road. If you're gonna, you know, be susceptible to Mythos deck with like low brain stat or whatever, you just cancel some of that horror. Bums Rush. Oh my god, this somehow the combination of the skin tones here, like and this like off-white shirt just gives me like weird like melding of the flesh vibes in this art. It is like a little bit creepy and also a little bit funny. Alright, 2 cost event, book, fist commits, bums rush, tactic and trick, evade, add your fist value to your skill value for this evasion attempt. If you succeed by 2 or more, deal 1 damage to that enemy. If that enemy is a non-elite, you may move it to a connecting location. Okay. Like cheap shot, but better. Well, okay, so the difference is, right, is that this is the primary action here is evade, but the primary action for cheap shot is fight. I think primary action of evade is generally speaking better, because cheap shot only does 1 damage and this only does 1 damage. They still have the succeed by 2 clause, both of them anyway. But if you are only going to get one of the effects off, the evade is probably better. And you get to move it. sometimes. They're not elite. Still costs 2, which is the same. Yeah, this is like, I think this is like basically a better version of Cheap Shot, basically, in my opinion. Okay, yeah. I mean, I've tried to make Cheap Shot work in lots of decks. Actually, I'll give this an 8 even, because I'll probably play this instead of Cheap Shot and be like, look guys, Cheap Shot, but like better. I swear, it's a decent card. Alright, Intimidation. 3 cost event, commits for Brain Fist. It's a tactic. Oh, sorry, Bones Rush is a tactic trick, and I don't think I said that. If anybody happens to be listening to this stream. This is a parlay. Choose an enemy at your location. Test X Fist, where X is the chosen enemy's remaining health. If you succeed, shuffle that enemy into the counter deck, or deal 2 damage to it. Instead, if it is elite. Okay, interesting. It's a parlay. I can see Alexandra. I could see Zorzi taking this with Fine Clothes. Reduce the test by 2, which is pretty much a guaranteed kill. Not kill, but like shuffle enemy into the deck. Shuffle's not as good as this card, I guess. Worst case, you deal 2 damage to something that's elite. It's quite expensive though. I feel like this is a little expensive. I mean, it is rogue, but like 3, and you have to test Fist as a rogue. And if you're McGlenn, sure, but like McGlenn's probably better off just killing guys, I think, without having to spend the 3x or the 3 resource, right? So then, like, okay, you play this maybe in an off-class rogue. Leo, maybe, but Leo might not have the resource generation to afford this. What else is off-class rogue that could make this work? I don't know, actually. Maybe not that many use cases. Yeah, I don't know about this one. I don't feel very good about it. This might be actually my only one out. Am I ever gonna take this? There's a lot of those like weird like parlay tests cards against enemies that I just like don't ever play, and I feel like this is gonna be one of those cards. Probably. We'll see. Alright. I mean, stir the pot from last cycle. My friend played it and he played it to quite good effect, but like this, I don't really see it. Alright, Crack Shot, Rogue Skill, Lul 0, commits for 3 wilds. Practice. Commit to a skill test from an ability printed on a firearm or ranged asset you control. Okay, so conditional +3. I mean, that's just good, right? It's a little bit inflexible because you have to use one of your weapons. But like 3 wilds is a lot. Guaranteed 3 wilds. It's practiced. Any sort of like rogue gun wielders that could run practice makes perfect. Can't think of any really. Ranged asset means I think you can use the bow. It's not bad either. Amanda? Are there any Seeker guns? Seeker range? Honestly, I mean, this probably isn't actually that good. +3 is a +3, but like, I don't know. I don't feel that it's just too specific, the use case, I feel like. And you're already probably getting decent values on the firearm ranged action that you're doing. I feel like Luger at +4, but like, I mean, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably just alright. Doppelganger. Okay, starting to move into the XP ones, which is good because I probably need to stop soon. Alright. 2 cost, 1 XP event, Rogue, commits for Brain Boot. It's a spell trick, Myriad Fast. Seems like Myriad Fast is introducing quite a few Myriad Fast cards in this cycle. Play only on your turn, attached to your location. Limit 1 per location. After an enemy enters or leaves the attached location, return Doppelganger to your hand to either perform an evasion attempt against that enemy or immediately move to attached location. You may trigger this ability from any location. What? Okay, wait a second. Okay, so you have to like set it up somewhere. An enemy enters the location, which I assume spawn could work. It spawns, it enters the location. Actually, maybe spawning doesn't work? I don't know. I'm gonna pretend that it works for now, but let's say it works. You spawn like, you know, some like any empty location thing. And then you return to your hand and then perform an evasion attempt against that enemy. No, you immediately move to that location. That is so interesting. That's an interesting card. There's a lot of potential like cases where I feel like this is pretty strong. I mean, the fact that like the nature of it leaving your attached location and then you can kind of like trigger it to like teleport where they were. So like, let's say you were at like a connector location, an enemy hunters to you, you trigger it. No, it has to be on your turn. Never mind. Okay, that's weird because you can only play it on your turn. I suppose you could, if you were attached to somebody, move, have it leave the location you were put it attached to while he's engaged on you. You return it to your hand, perform the evasion attempt. And then what happens? You move and you evade him, or you move and you like ditch him in the place that you've moved, I think. Is that right? That's like the most immediate use case that I can think of it, but the main problem is this caveat about only being able to play it on your turn. I feel like it would be a lot more flexible if you could do it like on the enemy turn or something, or if you like draw one. Because otherwise I feel like it doesn't come up that much. I mean, it works, I think, best if you're playing like with another person and they're triggering it for you. No, but that doesn't work either because you can only play it to your turn. Oh, no. Okay, I'm thinking of this wrong. You play it on your turn. You play it on your turn, but you can do the reaction out of turn. Okay, never mind. I understand now. Okay, yeah, in that case, okay, I see Yeah, wow. I'm just thinking like this is very versatile. And it returns to your hand after. They really didn't have to make it myriad fast if you're gonna make it return to your hand afterwards. It is a little bit expensive at 2 cost, I feel like, if you're gonna be using this a lot, but you're probably not actually gonna be using this a lot. So I don't really see the need for it to be myriad, but I guess it is. I'm pretty high on this card, I think, just in terms of like thinking about how to abuse it. um, whether or not it's good, I'm not 100%, but I feel like it can be pretty good as long as you can pay for it. Alright, Mob Connections. 1 cost asset, 2 XP, connection illicit traits. It's an exceptional card, first exceptional card we've seen, I think. Spend 2 resources, draw the card attached to Mob Connections. When an illicit asset you control is discarded from play, exhaust Mob Connections. Attach the asset to this card face down. Limit 1 attached asset. Okay. Interesting. I mean, basically, this is giving you more or less like infinite illicit recursion, kind of. Um, so, like, you get a gun. I think every gun is illicit, right? You get a gun, you discard it, Remington. um, and then you exhaust this, put this back, and then spend 2 to draw the Remington again. And you have to spend 2 to play it again. The 2 resource to redraw it is a lot, but I mean, you are recurring it like infinitely. It is 4 XP. You can only have 1 in your deck. Ugh. Part of me kind of wishes this is like a permanent. Maybe it would be too strong if it was. On paper, it sounds pretty cool, though. I don't know how much recursion you really need for like guns, but maybe like another illicit asset. Like what other illicit assets are there? What other illicit cards exist other than gun? Blackmail, burglary. I mean, you would never discard burglary. Contraband. Okay, could see an argument for contraband, maybe. Fake credentials returns to your hand. Liquid courage, maybe, but you can't discard liquid courage very easily. In any case, I think Dexter probably gets some good use out of this. Because you probably discard. You can discard a decent amount of like illicit stuff. Cold Vest Pocket, maybe? No, because you don't really want to redraw this. Yeah, I gotta think about this. I don't think. I mean, initially I thought it was pretty good, but maybe it's not that good. Maybe 5-7. Obscure. I do like this art. It's creepy. Oh my god, these black eyes, man. Alright, it's a 2-cost asset. 2 XP. Commits book, boot, wild, ritual. So this is another one of the ritual level 2 rituals. Limit 1 per investigator. Seal 0. You may resolve this whenever you reveal location or put a new location into play. Okay, it probably doesn't come out that too much. When you engage an enemy, exhaust obscure and release a token sealed here. Immediately fight or evade that enemy. During the skill test, your base skill value is equal to the shroud value of your location. Why would you want that? I mean, okay, like War Shroud location maybe, but what? No, 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 no. I don't think that's good. Okay, let's go through it one at a time. So seal 0, which means you have no choice, but the 0 is fine. I don't think you care that much about that. Replenishing the seal is, and like this revealed location, put new location into play doesn't come up too much, and you're gonna run out of steam at some point. I think it's nice for situations where it's like you walk somewhere unknown, and then that place has like some sort of spawn condition, maybe for an enemy. That could happen a decent amount of times, I think. You get a free fighter evade, but it's only a basic because the fight and evade are bolded, right? Instead of it saying immediately take a fighter evade action, which is a little bit not great. And your base skill value is most likely getting reduced because it's the shroud value. And if you want to do fighting or evading, you're probably going to be at least 4. That's not good. That's not good. Yeah, I don't think that's good. I think it's a 1 out of 10 lats. I think it's a 1 out of 10. Am I reading this wrong? Like, I can't see that being good. No, come on. Compared to the other two, this is definitely not very good. Alright, watch this. Oh, I watched this upgrade. That's cool. 3 XP skill. Wild. Wow. So I think the base one was what, like foot, fist, book, I think, or maybe brains. It was like 3 different symbols. Now it became wow. That alone is like already very good. I assume it's the same thing with the gambling. It's Gambit, commit only to a skill test you're performing. As an additional cost to commit, watch this to a skill test. Spend up to 3 resources. Okay, that's the same, I think. If you succeed by 1 or more, gain twice that many resources. Okay, so the succeed condition is even easier. So like if you spend 3... wait, am I getting that right? Watch this was always you need it, right? Or am I thinking of, Gregory Gry? Okay, never mind, I'm thinking of Gregory Gry. Okay, so this is all the same. Yeah, this is all the same. The difference being is that you just get the 3 wilds instead of brain fist boot. Is it worth 3 XP to make this 3 wilds? It is definitely way more versatile. So you're likely, you can force it on much easier skill tests if you're looking to use it to get resources. You're still show off. Is that different from this show off? Yeah. Funny. So it seems like they're, so far, I think they've revisited a skill in each of the classes, right? Which one was the one for... Oh, maybe it wasn't a skill. They did Inspiring Presence, and I guess Working a Hunch was their equivalent, maybe? I kind of wish this was maybe 2 XP instead. I don't know. 3 is a lot, but I mean, like standalone value wise, it's pretty good. Definitely not bad. I don't think you're like unhappy doing this kind of investment, especially if you're like a skill heavy deck. The 3 wilds, I mean, like somebody like Winifred, this goes absolutely insane. So like, yeah, I don't know. I don't mind this at all. I think it's solid. Probably mostly play in one of my decks. All right, Robert 4. Astaigna. I still don't know how to spell this or pronounce this. Commits for Fist, Boot Wild. Ally Veteran, you get +1 Fist. Exhaust Robert. Fight, reveal a firearm asset that takes up one or fewer hand slots from your hand. Resolve a fight ability on revealed assets. Ignoring all costs, then you may either discard the revealed asset to draw a card or play that asset playing its cost. Holy shit, that's a good upgrade. Wow. Okay, so the +1 Fist is the same. I don't think his health and insanity are 2 and 2. His health and sanity haven't changed. But like this free trigger, I mean, initially it was a regular action. Now it's a free trigger. You don't have to discard a firearm you own. You can just like Farsight. It's like Farsight firearm. You could fight with it, and then it's like you may discard it, but you could also just keep it in your hand. I mean, this alone, coupled with like just any gun that you decide to keep in your hand, completely counteracts the contraband weakness from the Glenn's signature weakness, right? You just keep that in your hand, and you're just fighting with it for free every turn. And you can use the one or fewer hand slot thing. I mean, Remington obviously comes to mind, although you're probably better off playing that one. But like, think about this, right? You do free trigger Robert, fight, reveal the Remington, deal 2 damage, play the asset, paying its cost. That triggers, playing for another 2 damage, and you've suddenly dealt 4 damage with no actions, and you played the Remington. Wow. Are there any better level 1 or one-handed firearms that you could use with Robert here? Oh my god, Robert's like a 10, I think. Probably use this. Oh, Lupara maybe? Oh no, but it doesn't enter play. But you could play it for free with Robert, right? So then you Robert free trigger Lupara, fires for +1/+1. You use it, it enters play with 2 ammo. Maybe 3 if you have that weird permanent thing. And then you spend 3 actions to fight at +2, deal +2 damage. For a total of what, 11 damage in 1 turn? Using Robert plus Lupara. Holy moly. Okay, yeah, I dig it. That, oh my god, what an ally. It's probably a good thing that he's level 4. I mean, Glenn can still play him because he has firearm in his text, which is good, but like, yeah, oh my god, what an ally. I think he's gonna be good. And he gives you base stat too. What the heck? Yeah, Robert. Oh, I will play you for sure. Alright, you've had worse 4. Upgrade. Commits, 0 cost, 4 XP event. Brain, foot. It's a favor, fast. Play one investigator at your location or connecting location is dealt damage and or horror, which is the same as the level 0 variant. That investigator may give you up to 5 resources. For each resource given by this effect, that investigator cancels 1 damage or 1 horror just dealt. Okay, so the differences here are that it goes up to 5 instead of 3, and instead of spending the resource, the investigator may give you up to 5 resources. So there's no net removal of resources at level 4. And if anything, you can just get more money, which is nice. But I mean, 5. When are you? How often are you canceling like 5 damage? I mean, the other thing is, how does this work if you choose yourself? Because it says play one investigator at your location, which assuming you could do yourself. Can you give yourself resource? But you would just be transferring it to yourself, I think, right? So assuming that it's a valid play, as long as you have 5 resource, you take like a 5 damage hit, you could transfer the 5 back to yourself. But if you don't have that resource, I guess, then you can't give yourself 5 resource, so you can only go up to, like, let's say you only have 3 resource, you take a 5 damage hit, you could probably only cancel 3 of it by giving 3 resource to yourself. That's how I assume this would be played. I mean, still, it's good. You still get the flexibility of the level 0 one. I feel like this falls into a similar problem that I've had worse. The second upgrade has, which is that going up to this resource level for that kind of mitigation is probably not worth it. Probably. Like, the difference between like spending 3 XP or spending 3 resource to cancel stuff versus going net negative for 4 XP, it's like, you know, I've had worse. Going from 2 to 4 is only a 2 XP difference, but this would be a 0 XP to a 4 XP upgrade, which is a lot. For that reason, I feel like I can't really justify this. What did I give? I've had worse. Normal. You've had worse. 6 out of 10. This is probably notably worse than that. I'll give it a 3 out of 10. Alright, to end, we've got the big Gatling gun. 5 cost, 5 experience assets. Commits 4. Fist, foot, wild. Item, weapon. Firearm, illicit, 2-handed. Uses 12 ammo. Spend 1 to 6 ammo. I've already read this, but I just need to like from way back when they first revealed. I just don't quite remember what it does. Spend 1 to 6 ammo out of its 12. Fight, you get plus X for this attack. The difficulty for this attack is equal to the combined fight values of all enemies at your location. Instead of its standard damage, this attack deals X damage divided as you choose among the enemies at your location. X is the amount of ammo spent as part of this ability's cost. I mean, is this like a worthy level 5 gun? You know, is it a worthy big gun compared to some of the other level 5 like high-end firearms? It's certainly better than lighting gun. What else is there? Like flamethrower. This is basically green flamethrower, right? And I'd say that, you know, instead of the +4, let me look at flamethrower real quick. Flamethrower is 4 ammo. 4 uses, okay. A little bit less in that regard. For that one, you have to pick the highest fight. For this one, you have to sum everything together. But you can go up to +6 potentially and still have it deal 6 damage. I mean, it's basically like almost like I would say like a side grade to flamethrower. Assuming you can play both, which I mean, pretty much only Michael McGlenn I think can do that. I would argue that, I mean, this has a slightly higher highs, but the ammo to damage ratio is not quite as good because basically each bullet is only 1 damage. So theoretically, you're getting 12 damage out of this at most, assuming, you know, everything else equal. And flamethrower, assuming all your attacks hit, you're getting 16 damage. But this 12 damage is more compressed because you can do it in 2 actions. So you know, a little bit of a trade for among everything, but and you can go up to, you know, +6 fist instead of +4, which can be meaningful sometimes. But if you're playing this on McGlenn, you're already fighting at like probably at 12, which is more than enough for most things, unless there's like another enemy in the way. I would say like if you really get like swarmed, this thing probably isn't as good, but even then you probably still have more than enough fists to deal with everything. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be good. I can't see this not being good. I love the art. I mean, the framing on this is really nice. Get the nice big gun in the chamber here. You get like the nice ammo with his hand raised. I just like the look. He's really admiring the gun, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think this is good. This is probably, if you're gonna play McGlenn, I feel like you might as well play this. But McGlenn does have other options. Alright, and I think with that, I don't want to continue too late into the night. It's been 2.5 hours already. My voice is getting tired. So with that, I think we'll call it for now. I'll try to zoom this maybe later in the week, but I might not have time, honestly. I don't want to split up too much though, so we'll see. And I don't have time during the weekend either, unfortunately, because I'll be gone. But yeah, I mean, if you stayed around, thanks for listening to me ramble about stuff. I do like looking at these cards and just kind of thinking, you know, their potential sort of. Let me review a little bit here. Marion, 9 out of 10. Maybe we can go through this in the rankings. Am I really a 9 out of 10 on Marion? Probably not. Crowbar, probably even less on Crowbar than I think. I'll bump up the Remington, just because I feel like, you know, even at level 0, there's probably some decent synergies there. Prime for actions, fine. Ready for anything, fine. I'll bring down Hardboiled a little bit. Mark, is it a 10? It's probably a 10. I just feel like it's so good. I'm gonna actually, I think, put Alice down. No, I'll probably play Alice eventually. It's probably not a 3 out. Probably not 1 out of 10 bad. I still think Bulwark is the best art out of the ones I've seen. So I will keep it 8 out of 10. Inspiring Presence leveled looks nuts. I mean, Locked and Loaded I don't care about, but like it's probably gonna be good. And then the Remington 4 still gets my 10 out of 10, I think. Lucius, you know, I'm not that excited to play him. These dial research ones, I do think like the first 2 are better than the other one. I might bump this down to 1 actually. I think I need to bump Connell down as well, probably. I'll put Artistic Inspiration up a little bit just because I've seen a little bit more of the Seeker exact archetype. What else? Okay, Specimen, Correlate, I mean, I think Correlate's insane. But maybe that's just me. Cosmic Revelation, probably take it down, take both of these down a little bit. Probably could take my stretching down too, honestly. Maybe I shouldn't give it more than 8. That's fine. This is the Grant one, right? Probably take this down too. Anti-Kithra should be fine. You know, with the gun stuff, I think I'll give about a 10. What about the looter too? I mean, in comparison to the level 4 Robert, probably level 0 Robert isn't that good. Probably not that much lower. Whereas the party is... We'll give it a 2. I'll bump up View at worst, I think. Bumps Rush, I think, is still good. Crack Shot. So it should be okay. Doppelganger, I think, should still be interesting. Still think Obscure might be the worst card in the set so far. I don't see it. I really just don't see it. I can't see it being good, which sucks because I like this art, but like, yeah. And level 4 Robert, I think, goes hard. Yeah, my god, seems fine. Yeah, okay. Alright. Yeah, so far, from what I've seen, I'm pretty excited. I feel like I'm more excited about this set than I was about Hemlock, probably, from the card spoilers at least. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Alright, hopefully I'll get another chance to round up some of the rest of the cards in maybe one more stream at some point later on. We'll see. Alright, if you stuck around and watched, thanks for watching. Give me a like or comment on, you know, cards that you are interested in as well. Alright, see ya. Bye bye.